What's going on, everybody? There's a lot to cover in today's episode. Subjects like other streamers wanting to join Ninja, a new user interface on the Xbox is coming, a new custom Gears 5 Xbox One X has been revealed. We also have Halo news and some new released games coming out in August, and it all starts now in This Week in Gaming. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Thank you once again for joining me, Centurion1307, on this episode of This Week in Gaming, your new home for pro Xbox untoxic news. Our first story is something that you may have already heard, but just in case, Ninja is now on Mixer. He signed a very lucrative multi-million-dollar deal, making Mixer his new home and the new face of the platform. Twitch even had a little fun with this. When you go to Ninja's old page, you find this little statement. The next story to come out of this whole thing is Dr.Disrespect is starting to chime in, saying that he'll hop platforms as well if he could get the same deal or better. So is this just the precursor of what is yet to come? Are other streamers going to jump from the Twitch platform to Mixer? But where Twitch has a very large community compared to Mixer, Mixer makes up for it by the features that they offer on the platform, having a way smaller lag input compared to Twitch. Not to mention, you have the ability to stream natively directly off of your Xbox console. Only time will tell what direction Ninja's presence will take the Mixer platform. Next story up is that the Xbox dashboard is going to get a makeover once again. I must thank the man with a million, Randall Thor, for allowing me to take a screenshot out of his video to show you what the new interface is going to look like. Just in case you were wondering, Randall Thor is in the alpha program and he is test driving the new UI right now as we speak. But Xbox plans to have a full rollout of the new UI by the end of Q3, which is the end of September. The big change in the UI, other than moving things around on the screen and having a whole new order to all of it, is the fact that they are getting rid of Cortana. She will no longer pop up on you when you don't want her to. It looks as if Microsoft is going for a more streamlined, simple version to the UI. This is going to make it more responsive and snappy and load times quicker on the tiles. If you want to see Randall Thor's complete video on the new UI interface, check it out down in the description below. Next story up revolves around Halo Infinite. Halo boss Frank O'Connor came out recently and made some statements about the game and how it's going to function on Xbox Scarlet versus Xbox One. The Scarlet version of the game is going to be what he calls the Special Citizen, as this version of the game is going to receive all the bells and whistles, and the only superior version above that is going to only be available on an absolute monstrous beast version of a PC. The Scarlet version is going to have all the major enhancements, ambient inclusions, particle effects, 4K resolution, 60 frames a second. The list goes on how superior this game is going to get compared to this generation of consoles. But they don't want current generation console owners to worry. They will not be treated as what they called second-class citizens by giving them an inferior product. He states that he is working very closely with his team to ensure that the new Halo looks and plays great on the current generation of consoles. And the Halo news doesn't stop there, as Showtime has released their cast for the new Halo television show. The two major roles of the TV show are Master Chief, who will be played by Pablo Schreiber, and Natasha McKellen will play Cortana and Dr. Catherine Halsey, along with bringing in other veteran actors to create a show that takes place before the events of the original Halo game and possibly even before Halo Reach. Has Showtime really found their Game of Thrones? I am definitely going to be tuning in to find out if this show is going to be as amazing as I think it is. Since we're on the subject of video game TV shows, I got one more surprise for you. What's on Netflix.com released an article stating that Resident Evil Season 1 is in production production being released on Netflix. Now, they do not have a release window or even a cast at this time, but they have come out and confirmed that production has started and that this is going to happen. Question is, will they be able to succeed where the movie industry failed? Now for our next story, I'm going to be quiet for a second so you can revel in all its glory. That's right, what you're staring at is the custom Gears 5 Xbox One X console. This baby is decorated all the way around from top to bottom and comes with a custom stand complete with an etched-in locust symbol. And let us not forget to mention that there is custom power up and power down sounds that come out of this console. For the icing on the cake, it also comes included with the Gears 5 custom Xbox One controller. I don't know about you guys, but my wallet is definitely screaming for me to blow my money on this console. The next story pertains to something that actually won't cost any money if you don't want it to. If you don't know by now, on August 16th on Games with Gold, you will get Forza Motorsport 6 for free. It will remain in Games with Gold until September 15th, after which it will be delisted from the Xbox Store. The digital versions of the game and its DLC will no longer be able to be sold on the Xbox Store after September 15th. But according to Playground Games' Brian Ekberg, all the DLC will be on sale for an astronomically discounted price during its time in Games with Gold. So if Forza is your thing and you haven't invested in Forza 6 yet, pick the game up for free and grab some cheap DLC as it won't be available for long. Now for our final story, which actually happens to be a big one, my top pick 3 games that are coming out this month in August. First up is a game that leapt out at me at E3 2019, and it happens to be an Xbox platform exclusive along with being released day and date in Game Pass, The Blair Witch Project. How they were able to keep the lid and secrecy around this game is beyond me, but being done by the company that did Layers of Fear, this game is surely going to be a thrill fest. From what it looks like, the story revolves around you and your dog Bullet going into the forest looking for a missing individual. But all the normalcy seems to end there, as you will end up going on a psychological nightmare that will constantly have you looking in all directions thinking that there is something behind you. This game will be released on August 30th for both purchase and in Game Pass. The next game worth pointing out, released in August, has been done by the developers that created Until Dawn Supermassive Games. The game Man of Medan is going to take a group of friends out on a scuba diving adventure exploring wrecks under the ocean to finding themselves on board a ghost ship. For those unfamiliar with Supermassive Games and Until Dawn, this company likes to create gripping, story-driven thriller horror stories that all revolve around the idea of choice. This game is, yes, a little bit of a walking simulator, but the big thing that stands out is the choices that you will have to make. Choices like where to go, what people could live or die. All these choices ultimately affect the end of the game, which there is going to be multiple endings. But the perfect ending revolves around the ability to make all the right choices so that way everybody is a survivor. Man of Medan will be released right next to Blair Witch on August 30th. It looks like August is turning out to be the month of thrillers, as the final game in my top 3 of the month of August happens to be the supernatural game created by the storytelling minds of Remedy, Control. At first, I was totally skeptical of this game and actually rather uninterested, but as time has gone by and I have read more about the game and watched more videos, I am getting more and more intrigued in wanting to try this game. Done by the creators of Quantum Break, I hope this game is on the same storytelling level as Quantum Break. You are Jesse Faden, an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. Armed with supernatural powers and a really crazy looking gun, you will use your investigative skills to investigate a force known as the Hiss, which has invaded both the Federal Bureau of Control building and a place called the Oldest House. Now, for my experience with Remedy games, you should know that not all Remedy games are just full-blown action thrillers. Instead, a majority of their games are investigative, where you're going around learning about things, reading documents, and checking out the environment. And I also must mention, they have a way of telling stories that is absolutely completely mind-warping. Control will be available for both physical and digital download on August 27th. For those of you looking for a single-player narrative-driven experience, Control is your best bet. So here we are once again at the end of another episode of This Week in Gaming. If you have any comments or opinions at all, please feel free to chat me up down in the comments section. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and listening to me. If you've enjoyed this video, please send me a like and subscribe down below, as I release regular content and I release This Week in Gaming once a week. You can always find me and other preferred content creators on legionofgamer.com. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, my friends, game hard out there.